Module 8.2 Proform Speed Ratings and the Graph. Welcome to Module 8.2 of your Proform Professional Training course. This module is all about speed ratings. We cover dynamic and static speed ratings, how they are displayed on the speed ratings graph, what they can be used for, and class pars. Before we dive straight into the speed ratings within the software, the first port of call should be the members dashboard. Because if we scroll down and have a look in the members reports, there's a document called Speed Ratings, Static and Dynamic. This explains the dynamic and static speed ratings within the software. And for those of you that are in the Insiders Club or are Platinum members, there are some speed rating class pars which you can be viewed in the Insiders Report section. So we suggest before watching the rest of this video, you browse to this document and have a quick read through it. So we're now in the form book on a race at Lingfield on the 26th of February. And you can see we have the speed ratings graph on the screen. First of all, let's explain where the speed ratings are. And if we take the horse Fairy Wing and have a look at its recent form, and it's ordered by the most recent run first. The first column is the speed rating figure, and this is the figure it recorded in this race. So then when you look at the graph and we have Fairy Wing selected, those speed figures are plotted on the graph with the yellow dots representing each run. When you click on a different horse, the relevant line is highlighted on the graph. You can zoom into a portion of the graph by holding down the left mouse button and dragging a box around the portion you want to zoom into. And you can zoom back out of the graph by left clicking and dragging the opposite direction. The speed figures shown against the Horse Form tab are affected by the filters that you have set. So I currently just have a global filter from the 1st of January 2008 set and nothing else. But if we were to just change the quick filters to just all weather, because this is an all weather race, you can see Lieutenant Dan's form only now shows the all weather runs. So we only now see the speed figures for the all weather runs. And the graph as well now only shows all weather runs. On the race card you can add in more speed figures. So you right click on any column heading and click Show Fields. You can add in the dynamic figures and the static speed figures. These are explained in the speed ratings document in the members area. In this instance, we'll add in the dynamic speed figures. And these will now be at the end of the race card line. And if we click on Auto Resize, they'll be resized so you can see the headings. And the headings are explained in that same document in the members area. But basically that is highest achieved, median rating, last time out, average over X number of runs, which you can change in the preferences, median over X number of runs, second highest achieved, and overall average. And these again are affected by the filter. So if we were to change this, just so you can see an example, to hurdles, they've all changed because there's not much hurdle form. So the rest of the figures have disappeared. We'll go back to all-weather speed figures. And don't forget, you can move these columns further along on the race card line. So we're back on the graph again. If we have a look at Lieutenant Dan, we can see the speed figures plotted on the graph. So he has a very consistent profile. And you can also see from the dynamic figures that the highest is achieved is a 60 on the all-weather, the medium of 54, and last time out 53. The graphs can be useful in showing horses that have got a progressive profile, or in the case of Fairy Wing, a regressive profile when it first came over to this country, but it is beginning to move back up the speed rating scale. Also, either by further filtering from the main filters or using the pattern matcher, you can see where horses produce their better speed figures. So if we open the pattern matcher and turn it on the original pattern matcher, you can turn on show speed figures, and against the patterns it shows you the speed figure underneath. However, a better way may be to use the main filters. So this is a Lingfield all-weather race. We already have an all-weather filter on, but we could restrict to Lingfield, and then when we're looking at the graph, and we'll zoom back out, we're just seeing the speed figures for Lingfield runs. And as you select through, horses may stand out on the graph that have better form at Lingfield. Again, we could have just done this for, instead of Lingfield, this is a mile all-weather race. So we could have looked at races around a mile. We'll zoom into the most recent portion of the graph again and choose each horse. And you can see horses that have a better profile at a mile. In the speed figure columns, speed figures highlighted in green are the highest achieved in that column of figures, and in red the lowest in that column. If you're an Insiders Club or Platinum member and have downloaded the class pars, you'll be able to see what the speed figure class par for this class of race on the all-weather is, and you can then see which horses have produced better figures than the class par. In Class 6 all-weather races, the class par speed figure is 61. So in the main filters, we could clear out the filters we had set, select all-weather, and on the ratings tab at the end, we could put a low and high speed rating range in, so we only want to see 60 and above. So this has filtered the runners in this race to just all-weather with speed figures where they are near or above the class par. And this in turn has affected the graph. So then when looking at the horse's form, you can see if they may have their optimal conditions today. You can see that Indian Violet certainly produces its best speed figures at Lingfield and at around a mile, with 2 wins at a mile. So the speed figures are a good guide to show you when horses are racing under their optimal conditions, and the graph can show you when horses are rapidly progressing or regressing. The second set of speed figures that you can open are the static speed figures. And we'll tick each one and drop them onto the race card. And these are basically the static highest achieved in its career in the last 1 year, the median in its career, the median in the last 1 year, the median on the last 3 runs, last time out, second last time out, third last time out, and fourth last time out. All the last time out figures are only looking at 1 year back in form as well. The rules for how the static speed figures work are in the same document that we showed you at the start of this module. But basically they are using the same race type as the race you are looking at. So all these speed figures are static speed figures that don't change when you're setting filters, and they're based on all-weather racing and in the main just 1 year back of form, other than the highest in the career and the median career. So you can see they're not affected by the filter because we still have a filter set for speed figures of 60 and over, and these are still showing speed figures lower than that. These can be a good guide when you can see that the last time out figures are higher than the class par of the race. So the class par for this race is 61, and we can see last time out 3 horses produced a figure equal or greater than the class par. This also means in the system builder you can query the static speed figures on the speed and user ratings tab. So these speed ratings by rank are the static speed figures we've just gone through, and these are the speed figures by value, and the clear by is used for when you're looking at how far the top rated is clear by to the second rated. You could use the static speed ratings in conjunction with the class pars to see if horses that have produced better than class par figures on their last run do better than horses that have not produced a class par figure on their last run. So the class par for all-weather class 6 races was 61, so we'll select just all-weather class 6 races. And in the rating, speed and user, on the last time out rating, we'll select less than 61 for the value of the speed figure and run this system. And these are the figures returned. Although that wasn't in real time, it does take quite a long time to run this query. And if we then run the same query again, where the last time out the horse achieved at least class par or better speed figure, we can see there's a marked difference in the performance. So where they achieved better than class par, it's a 16.52% strike rate compared to an 8.53% strike rate when last time out they didn't achieve a class par figure. And remember that we're only looking at the one class of race on the all-weather, and we didn't even restrict to just handicaps or non-handicaps. So using the speed ratings, the static ones or the dynamic ones, in conjunction with the graph and the system builder, you should be able to unearth lots of winners and lots of systems. Well, that's it for the Module 8.2 training session. Speed ratings are still a very useful tool when handicapping a race. You can see outstanding performances easily on the graph, and when used in conjunction with your everyday form reading methods, they can be powerful allies.